Welcome back to SK Hobbies, AZ and IN Stitch, and on this episode we're going to be talking about the 3D printers. You're not going to want to miss this, so stay tuned. All right, well, welcome back. So yes, we're going to be talking about these 3D printers. In case you guys haven't seen my previous episodes, if you guys jump back, you guys will see I did a live build on the Ender 5 S1. And then I did a complete video on the assembly of the Ender 5 Plus. Both by Creality. They are very awesome printers out of the box, but we want more. So we went full board on Clipper, putting a Raspberry Pi in, learning how to program in Python, and getting these things fine-tuned to how they are running today right here. Before we jump in and start looking at what we've done to the 3D printers, we're going to talk about, we've done some printing on them. We've, on the Ender 5 Plus, we've created some brackets right here to help support the gantry or the rail systems on the side. We've done a little bit more to it. We'll jump in and look at that here in a second, but ultimately, you know, I got a project on my desk right here. I am printing out a Titanic for my son because he really likes the Titanic. We'll go over that in another video. But one of the things we did is the Ender 5 S1 came with the Creality Sonic Pad, which is right here. Currently, it's pretty cool. Currently, right now, I don't have it connected to the printer because we went full Raspberry Pi on it. Very simple install to get this thing up and running on Clipper with the ability to control it and do everything from your computer. I'll put a link in the description if you guys want this one. Now, it does run off of Fluid, which there's two different types. There's plenty of videos out there on how Clipper and works and how to install it, so you guys can do searches on that if you want. But there's two main we'll say interfaces for Clipper that people are using now. There was three. Some people still use Octopi, but you got Fluid and you have Mainsail. On the Ender 5, I had already started on that upgrade and got it onto Mainsail. I wanted to keep the Ender 5 S1 on the same platform controlling basis. So this was running Fluid. Not much of a difference that I saw. It's just I liked the setup in the way, because that's how I learned, was using Mainsail. So I went with Mainsail, put it on the same Raspberry Pi, and we got up and running awesome. Now they're running independently of each other. I can control them from my computer. So the cool thing about having it set up this way is that I used Cura by UltiMaker, and I can go right into my computer here. I can get everything into that slicer. Now there is other slicers out there. We're not really going to talk about that one. I use Cura here, but I can go through and create my file, and from there I can go right to my screen for my printer that I want to use, whether I'm using the Ender 5 S1 or the Ender 5 Plus, and upload it directly there. I can control it. I can level the bed. I can do everything through Mainsail. Now, you can do the same thing through Fluid. I guess to me, it's kind of like the beta VHS battle right now between these two platforms. You know, eventually I think one's going to be better than the other, and a lot of people are going to go with that one. Currently, right now, I am using Mainsail. So I've even hooked up a camera on, it's one of my webcams. I've hooked up to my Ender 5 S1 over here. It's the same one I use in my studio, and it's the same one that I'm filming with right now, same style. I have another one that's back there on a swing arm that I can turn to both cameras. Right now, it is in my display for the Ender 5 S1, and I will put kind of like what it looks like on the screen down here somewhere of what that looks like with the camera installed. It is a little bit blurry because it does do kind of an auto-focusing. It's more of a studio style camera not a precision camera for 3D printing. It's a webcam. So we're going to fine tune that a little bit better down the road. But right now I just wanted to get a camera so I could be anywhere in my house. I can have my tablet, I can log into the printer, and I can see how my print is going. And that's freaking awesome. Right. So I got my tablet right here. So see if you guys can see this without getting the light in the way. But anyways, so this is what we're kind of looking at when it comes to what I can see on my tablet. And so you can see the camera down in the corner there that is showing my print, which is almost completed right now at 90%. And this is one of the Titanic. It's the white top piece that you kind of print them all out, which we'll talk in another episode. But needless to say, you got that one. And then if I click over here, this is my other screen right now for the Plus, the Ender 5 Plus. So you can see there's not a camera on this one yet, but eventually we'll get one on there, so I'll be able to monitor that. We're going to go over to the printer now, and we're going to kind of look at what we've got going on for both of these printers. They are currently printing, so we will we'll definitely get to see some action over there. And then we're going to kind of talk about what we've done. All right, as you can see, we're looking at the Ender 5 Plus. And currently right now it's printing the middle section of the Titanic hull for my project for my son. And this one we're going to go in depth and kind of talk to you about what we've done. We've got the touch screen right there, which is running the clipper. And then on the back side here, you're able to see the Raspberry Pi is connected up. And then over here, this one actually just finished completing its print, but this is the Creality Sprite extruder right here. And you know, here's the camera that I was talking about that I have hooked up that's kind of looking at the angle you guys saw. And then we have our main screen right here. And if we go back, that's the main screen when you come and you're not printing anything, but we can go right to here and we can home all accesses, and you can see it going through its home process. There you go, it's homed. And we can do everything from here also. We can even put in an SD card with the print file, upload it from here if we wanted to. If we wanted to adjust temperature, we can adjust temperature here. We can, you know, we've got some pre-configured filaments that we can use to set up. If we go into here, we can go into what our mesh looks like. And if I bring up this one here, it shows you my mesh here. Actually, we'll go over to the computer and we'll show you what it looks like for the Ender 5S1. So I'm not screen capturing right now, but this is the Ender 5S1. I'm just doing this from my phone. But if we go over to height map over here and we click on that, this is kind of our three-dimensional bed mesh that we have. You can see it's a little warped in the center. We're working on fine-tuning this a little bit better and get a little bit better mapping, but it's printing awesome the way it is. All right, let's go back over to the printer. All right, so now we're back over at the printer. There's all kinds of other stuff that's inside of this program, which we're not gonna cover in this episode. Now our screen here is no longer working anymore because we have this guy. I didn't do any upgrades of the components inside of this. The only thing I did was add the touchscreen with the Raspberry Pi. It's connected up. We uploaded Clipper onto the printer itself, and then everything's being controlled from this Raspberry Pi. Everything else on this is completely stock out of the box, other than I put this PEI bed sheet on here. We've replaced these guys in a video, and we also added the bushings in there instead of the springs. But other than that, this thing is completely stock. It is printing in PETG right now. That's what's on the spool. We just got done printing. We've done plenty of prints with PLA for testing, bed leveling. If you guys want more of that, jump down in the comments and let me know, and I'll show you some more. I do have an enclosure we're going to install on this guy so we can print in ABS, and that's pretty much it. Now, I'm still fine-tuning some of the program here, the start and stop functions in Cura, and also in the macros in here. But let me jump over here to the Ender 5 Plus. So now the Ender 5 Plus just finished. So if we hit main menu here, we're back to the main menu, just like we saw on the other one. And you can see we are completed. Now you can see that I'm still kind of touching the print right here. Now, the reason why is because I'm still fine-tuning the start and stop to where this thing will lower and the head will get out of the way. But we can go ahead and manually do that, and we can come down to the display. Actually, if we go to move, we got Z. We're going to move it 25 millimeters, and we hit that. And you can see it's kind of stuck there. But that's right there, and that's the section that we printed that we're going to get cleaned up. And all the supports and everything are still in here. Now, I did have some casualty on this. You can see that this outside right here is all red now. And the reason why is because during my testing, I had a catastrophic print failure. Look at that. It globbed up all over the place. It was actually, you can see this was stuck up underneath here after a print that I did through the middle of the night. And it did kind of destroy the housing that came with it. So I had to use a heat gun in order to get it off. But Micro Swiss has the print files on their website. So we printed that back out and got it printed in PETG right now. Eventually, once the Ender 5S1 is running ABS, we're going to reprint it in ABS for this also. So, modifications that I've done to this so far. You guys all saw the video of me talking about upgrading this Micro Swiss system. But this crossbar right here, this crossbar is usually right between here, and it was a pain in the butt to see my print. It was also kind of a pain to do the bed screw leveling manually over the top of this and trying to get my feeler gauge in there. So there was a gentleman on Thingiverse that had a 3D print file for this crossbar relocation that I installed. I will put a link in the description to that guy. That was awesome that he did it, but you basically print these two ends here, and then you print these little covers right here that kind of take away your sharp edges, and then you install those guys on, and you can move this to whatever height you want. I just have it pushed down out of the way for this video because I've been doing a lot of work on the Ender 5 on getting this up and running. The cross supports that I was telling you guys about are right here. Now, I did have some issues with my supports and printing these. Eventually, these guys will get reprinted out, but you can see I've got some issues right there, and it looks kind of nasty, and I didn't really want to clean them up when I did this. So I just wanted to get these supports in so I can have this guy running. And so I got one there, and the longer one I put over here. I've only got one on that side for right now because when I was doing this, the Ender 5S1 over there was doing some printing. I didn't want to move things around, so we're going to get that support in. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to do any supports on this going here because these supports are designed to go 90 degrees right across here. I'm going to have to redesign it so it comes up over in an angle and screws into this guy. But we'll eventually get to that. Next modification we did was this strain relief right here for the cable and the Bowden tube. I needed to get this cable raised up a little bit out of the way. I needed to get this up here. So I kind of utilized this same thing, attached my Bowden tube, ran it up and over, and it's been running pretty good. I will also put a link to that description of the gentleman that built that. I didn't design that, but we'll give him credit for that. And I'm sorry if I don't know these guys' names off the top of my head. I will put something up on the screen with the gentleman that designed these files and also designed those files and the files for the crossbar. So anyways, let's move to the back. All right, moving to the back, you can see here. So I got rid of the box that was right here that housed all my electronics to get it out. Because eventually I'm going to put an enclosure on this, and that way we can print ABS on this too. Now, with that being said, I needed to get all of that electronics out of the heat, and we used a piece of aluminum on the back side of the printer, and we attached that. And then got all of our electronics attached. Now, I'm still designing the cover for this that's going to protect all of this electronics, but we're just being careful while we're using it right now. And I've also got to get the fan assembly set up to keep these components cool. So we've mounted the power supply right here, and we mounted the power switch. I kind of made an aluminum bracket right here that mounted the power switch, which you guys can see right there, and also the power plug. Board wise, we are still using the stock heater control board right here, but you can see this board right here. This is the Octopus by Big Tree Tech, and this is the V1.1 Octopus board. Now, you can see there's a lot of these little blue heat sinks across here. So this guy can control 8 different steppers. Now, these are stepper drivers that are on the board. Now, we're not using 8 different steppers. We're only using 5. You can see these 5 right here is the only ones we're using. These 3 are not being used right now. And the reason why we're using 5 is on the stock system, they only used 4 because they were controlling both Z steppers, which, if you guys want to see what a Z stepper is, that's the stepper motor, the Z motor. So there's one on each side, and those were being controlled by one of these on the original Creality board. Now, I could have done the same here, but what I wanted to do was to control them separately, so I split them off into 2 separate steppers. And the reason why is because it controls that tilt, or your Z tilt, on the bed. So I have a macros that is running on this guy that will go and check the point distance on here, and then come over and check the distance on this side and adjust it to get it as close to tolerance and level as possible. I think that's pretty awesome. So this is a stepper right here that controls my X movement of my extruder. And then on the back side, we have this stepper here, which this controls my Y movement on both sides going this way. So those are my main steppers. And then I have one additional stepper right here, which is this guy, and that's for the extruder. So that what that controls is the filament coming into my hot end. So the way we have this set up is I have my X, my Y, my Z1, my Z2, and my extruder. Now in the program, they don't say Z1, Z2, it's Z, and then you have Z1, and then you have the extruder. I'm still gonna work on some wire management here. Currently, the power going to the heaters, I have the cable just running down right here underneath. And if we come around this side, you can see it's kind of working coming up there. Now, the reason I just did that is because it worked for now, but we're going to eventually reroute all of that cable around the underneath side of this corner right here and come up this way and get that all out of the way. And then at that rate, I can put a strain relief up here to get this guy kind of held in place so I don't damage that heater bed. But all right, let's go ahead and go back up front. All right, well, I'm gonna show you guys how this Z calibrate works real quick. We're gonna go back over to the computer. I'm gonna show you that function because I don't have a menu here yet to actually do that Z screw check. So we're gonna go start it over there, and then we'll come back over here and watch what happens. All right, so now we're back over here at the Ender 5 Plus console, and you can see that these buttons right here, which is your home button, and then this right here is called Z Tilt. That's what we're going to go ahead and select. Let's go ahead and select that, and then we'll go over to the printer. All right, so we're at the printer. And so you can see what it's doing is it's going to take a calibration point at each side, and it's going to run a calculation to find out what the difference in height is on that. And we're going to see that down here. Now this is going to continue to run numerous times if we needed to, but this time it didn't. It stopped. It ran once. So now what we can see here is that it told us the dimensions of what it went at and the Z height at that dimension for the first one, which was on the left of the display. And then it went to the 325/180, which is on the right, and we saw the Z there. And then it says making the following adjustments. See, there was the range, and then the tolerance is the adjustment that it did to the steppers. So that's kind of what we did right there for that. Let's head back over to the computer. All right, we're back over at the computer station. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's been very fun on doing this, and this is going to be great in my hobby and for my RCs and my 3D printed boats, and also my little projects that my son loves. So you kind of got the three parts of the boat right here. This kind of sets up on top. I got to take the supports off of that. You can see there's supports on the bottom, which come off very easy. I've got those fine-tuned. And then we have to glue all this together. And then I got to print the stacks and everything else for this. So, and I'm going to put a link to the file in my future video for this, because I did not design this. I got this off of Thingiverse, and that it was an awesome little file. Everything's all broke down and easy for you to print out on your printer. So anyways, if you guys have any comments or suggestions or things you want to see, jump down in the comment section and let me know. Also, I also want to know what you guys think. Do you guys want to know more about what we set up in Clipper and the process we went through for macros and an explanation of the printer config file? I've got a really good detailed printer config file that I created, and that is inside Clipper that runs all my programming and macros and stuff like that. If you guys want to see that, let me know in the comments section. Till next time, I'm Stitch, SK Hobbies AZ, and I'm out.